When you configure the clients, the first thing you need to do is to give them a name. The name will be showing up on the status page also. It's a way of you to identify which client is which, and not only by the MAC address. So the first one we are going to name laptop 81. And that is because it's a client connected to another laptop here in the office, and the IP address I will have as 81 on the end. I press the plus sign and you get the parameters you can set up for this particular client. It will be enabled and by that allowed to connect. We identify it by the MAC address. So we enter the MAC address of the unit, the client unit, which you obviously have to have written down before. Then you choose a priority level for the client so that different clients can be differently prioritized. I will have no particular prioritization order in my system right now, so I would choose 3 for all my clients that we will connect. Next thing to choose is the number of time slots. Per default, it is assigned 1 time slot. You can assign everything between 0 and 31 time slots. 0 will actually mean that there are no time slots for the client and it will not connect to the base station. In my case, I will have 3 clients connected and I will give them 4 time slots each, except one of them that will get 8 of them. So for this one I choose 4 time slots. Then I can also control the modulation or the mean rate, max rate that is used for this client. I will allow the whole range of modulation for all my clients. You can either keep it on auto rate for the max or you can specify it to 300. It is the same for the unit. I can also limit the throughput this client can have by software-wise. It is of course limited by the number of time slots because the client cannot get more traffic through than fits into 4 time slots. But I can also limit it to, let's say, 4 megabits per second or 5 or 10, which gives you a possibility to better control how much capacity each client can get. In this case, I will configure them to have maximum 10 megabit each. I press set and it is now temporarily stored but not activated yet. Now you can see that we have a new row, which means that I can go on and add more clients to this system. So we continue and add more. I have another one, we will call it Eric 10.88. That is because one of my colleagues, Eric, is having that client and the client has an IP address of 88 in the end. And we configure also that MAC address. Yes, and we give it the same priority as the other client and we give it 4 time slots. And we do the same on this one, the full range of modulations. And also this one will have a limit on 10 megabit. And we continue with the 4th one. Sorry, wrong name, Anders 1087, enabled, and the MAC address. Same priority on this one, and also 4 time slots. The full modulation range, but this one will only get 5 megabits. even if he has 4 time slots, which means that he has a capacity that is higher than 5 meg, but we will limit it software-wise. And we add the 4th client, and that is one that I'm using myself. The MAC address of this one. And I give myself the priority 3, and I give myself 8 time slots. The full range of modulation. We can leave it on auto rates. It will be the same as if I put it on 300. But I will give myself a little bit more because I have 8 time slots, and I will software-wise limit my connection to 20 megabits. And do set. So now we have configured all 4 clients. Next step is that we need to apply these settings. Now when you do the apply of the settings, you have a little choice to make. You have something called safe apply. Safe apply means that if you haven't pressed a keep button that will pop up after you have done the apply, it will automatically revert after 5 minutes to the configuration that it had before you pressed apply. This is a security feature so that if you do anything wrong, you will not lose connection to the unit. This is most useful on the master when you change, for instance, IP address or VLAN settings that you are not 100% sure of that you have the correct subnet configured on your laptop or in your switches. But we will anyway, I will show you how it looks like. So we will press the safe apply and we will keep it on 5 minutes. And we press the apply button. At this moment, these new settings are applied and beginning to be used by the unit. It is still not stored in the flash, which is a second security feature. This means that if you have done anything wrong right now and you reboot the unit, it will come up with the settings it had before. So you have to actively now press the keep button to keep this configuration. And you need also to press the save button to store it in the flash. If you don't do this and the unit reboots, it will come up with the settings it had before. It will keep the save button until you have been on the configure page and press the save button. So we press the save button now and it will be stored in the flash, and if I now reboot it, it will come up with these new settings.